We actually were out church shopping, and I don't even know that I would say that we were wanting to church shop. And so we were getting down towards the end of the list, and I was starting to think, ooh, God's giving me an out. Well, we came to Radiant. We have never experienced a greeting the way that we did when we came to Radiant. We wanted a place where relationships were happening, relationships with each other and relationships with God. The people, right away, they remembered us. I mean, they remembered our names. They remembered the things that we told them. And I'll tell you, I went, oh crap, walking out, because I was one part excited and one part scared. I did grow up in the church. It would be, by all measures, a cult. And so I learned in my earliest years that you have to earn. Every day you have to earn your salvation. God is watching you. One of the things that I learned in my early life is that I will never be good enough. In all those years of legalism and having more to do with about what you hate rather than who you love, I never heard grace. I didn't hear those things. And so if you fast forward, I got into some crazy hard things. The things that had happened in my life, alcohol abuse, social alcoholism. I couldn't be around people, especially my senior year. I was drunk all the time. I had already attempted suicide at that point, and I knew that there was nothing worthy in me. The very peak of it, maybe, of that desperation, I was dating a much older man than me on one particular night. He had gotten very upset with me, and he ordered everybody out of the apartment. And I just had this feeling, whether it would have happened or not, I had a feeling he was gonna rape me, he was gonna kill me, and I begged to God to let it happen. I sat on that couch because I knew I was worth nothing. I was at that moment. My husband, who was not my husband obviously at the time, came up the side door, knocked on it, came in, and he did this to me. He nodded to me, and I crawled under his arm. And that was the start of God actually bringing this amazing man into my life. Tom and I forged our relationship under a lot of alcohol and a lot of hard things and a lot of hurt. And I will tell you that there were a lot of those wandering times in our spiritual life, nearly going bankrupt several times from stupidity, having all kinds of complications in our lives. Later on, our children dealing with drug issues, suicide issues. And I will tell you that we had been in other churches, and I don't blame them. I don't think that anyone knew how to show up, but we were there alone with a kid coming off of drugs and another kid who was younger who didn't know how to sort anything out. The hurt of feeling isolated was there, and the hurt at God. And we tried all these places, and we came to Radiant. And I really wanted all of you to reject me. I wanted people to reject me because I didn't want them to know me and then realize I didn't deserve to be there. It was a hard, wonderful thing. There have been so many places in my life that God has done amazing things, where He's recovered finances, where He's restored things. But the last 2 years of our lives, I would say, have been the greatest pinnacle of our growth. Our son, thank God, is still alive. Now we walk that journey, but we have people. I think what God is really doing in my life, in the life of my truly amazing husband, He continues to let us use everything in testimony. That is one thing that no one, regardless of what they believe about Scripture, so nobody can take from us, is what we've lived and endured and walked. It makes me want the world to be a much more compassionate, kind place, which is probably why I keep saying there's a place for non-judgment with truth. Those things can be together. What He's doing is finally proving me wrong, that you have to earn your way. Grace isn't cheap, it's not free. It costs everything, and It's given freely. It's given without strings. And in the giving it without strings, it should compel us. It should compel us to love people better. What excites me about Radiant is possibility. I see all of this outpouring of wanting to do things in the community, and that makes me happy. All the ways we can come alongside young mothers and fathers who are single, who are trying to make it, people who are broken and hurt, people who've had church hurt, quite honestly. If we're not out there just loving people and letting God be present in that space, who's going to? And I'm excited by the possibility of not being a church, about being a community of people that come beside a community of people. That's what excites me.